Speaking of parents, we got to talk about Cooper Flagg's mom. So let's talk about Cooper Flagg's mom. The Duke Blue Devils, they beat UNC in their regular season finale. And there was this moment where Cooper Flagg has this throwdown dunk, and you got to love mama in the crowd celebrating, not just celebrating, but hits him with the on his effing head. The on his fucking head celebration. And she's looking, she's feeling it. They got her just in 4K and just pure exhilaration mode. And I love it. I love it. And his mom, Kelly Bowman Flagg, can follow her on Instagram, says, I appreciate all of you who have supported us all season long, especially last night after my call for bail money. There were many willing to start to GoFundMe and several others ready to write at dawn. I also want to apologize to anyone who was offended by my language that was caught in a celebratory moment. I do realize that it wasn't my best look. However, if you actually know me and are a real friend of mine, you weren't shocked. It was a very intense situation we were put into, and we were taken aback by the crudeness of the UNC fans as we made our way into the arena. They continued to harass us, with much worse being spewed in our direction, as well as our 18-year-old son and his teammates throughout the entire game. The celebration was a moment of being so proud of our kid, and also a big F you to the entire Carolina fan base for being classless a-holes. If you're a UNC fan and didn't like it, tough as better luck next time. Go Duke. Holy smokes. Take that shirt she was wearing and hang it up at Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Mom of the year.
I mean, we got to get her on the show. I mean, that is just, I was thinking something very like, he's got to be, Mom, apologize. Mom, you can't. And she like doubled, tripled down.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was almost like she did the dunk herself. And it was just a great moment. Look, that's a dirty rivalry, man.
Yeah.
They hate each other.
Yeah.
It's the best rivalry in college basketball.
Yeah.
Second best in, Ohio State, Michigan's first, but
It's sports. We're number one in sports.
yeah.
For sure.
But when it comes to hoops, these two, that's the Ohio State, Michigan of hoops.
This is the one easily.
And to have that moment, I saw it in real time, and I was like, oh my Lord, like she's just like going off. And I love how she's like, no. And the dad's like, very kind of buttoned up with it. But when you saw Stillwell, man, I mean, first of all, we saw the moment, and just kind of thoughts on Cooper Flagg as a player.
So first on the moment, I've had a couple of teammates where the mom is the energetic one and the dad is more laid back. Like, all right, when she's yelling at the refs, you got to pull her back, calm her down, make sure you guys don't get kicked out the game. But I absolutely love this. I think it's perfect for a guy like Cooper Flagg, who's still young, pretty much the face of college basketball right now, to have a mom like this yelling for him, showing that emotion. It's excellent because it shows that he has the support behind him. And, I'm a guy, even though it's not a popular opinion, I think he should come back for that second year in Duke. Look at how they're already loving his parents. Look how they're loving his mom. I think the love that she's getting from this fan base, it's only going to further pursue him. I love when the crowd was chanting one more year when he was leaving his last home game. So, I thought it was a great moment. I think Cooper's an excellent prospect, and I think another year in college can only make him better. He's still super young. He's still definitely going to be a lottery pick, and I just think he might go to a team that he's better suited for versus going to a Charlotte or like any other team that gets a lottery.
Yeah, I think Noel's trying to save Cooper Flagg from the Wizards.
Yeah,
the Wizards, man.
I would love him on the Hornets as a LaMelo Ball fan, but do not send that man to the Wizards. Yeah.
Hey, if you're a great player, you can turn a franchise around. But
absolutely.
I was thinking of that moment I was thinking about that Conor McGregor moment a couple years back. When I was reading her post and apology, it was like, it started pretty eloquent. And Conor McGregor's like, I'd like to take this moment. I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. And she's like double down. So I love that. But as far as him as a player, clearly the best player in college basketball as a freshman. He's lived up to the hype defensively, offensively. He's grown all season long, and that's what you want to see from a player that has such a high ceiling. You did mention the Washington Wizards as the team that you don't want to see him go to, but he's a baller, man, and it's going to really come down to the tank situation. The Wizards, though, you got the worst record in the league, right? The Jazz right behind them. Jazz 15-30. Hornets, your Hornets 16-48. The Pels 17-48. So really, Washington, you want to finish at one of the league's worst records. So you get the 14% chance. So it's a 40% chance. So there's going to be some twists and turns. It's always a little bit of a surprise. But from the East Coast, from Maine. I mean, my man's from Maine. You know,
Main event.
the main event. I love that.
That's a cold nickname.
I love that. That is
Real
cold.
quick,
Yes.
off the top of your head, give me his NBA comp. It could be a current or a retired player.
Well, I mean, my one originally I came up with was Karolinko,
Yeah.
but this was before I saw more of him play because I think that his ceiling is obviously, I mean, dude had like a 42-point game in college, right? His scoring ability is much better than Karolinko, but it's just as far as his versatility and his ability to score on the inside, the outside. I mean, the defense. I mean, I've heard people compare his defense to KG as at his peak as far as just how athletic he is. He's tough. He's got a little bit of a tweenerness to him, to his game. But I mean, if you could shoot 37.7% from beyond the arc as a freshman, I mean, if you could be a 38, 39% shooter and a 20-point scorer, and you're gonna get he's gonna be one of those guys that puts up stats where like he's like a 20, if he's like a 23-8-5 guy, like early on in his career.
Yeah.
That's what's exciting to me is he doesn't force shots. He's not a straight scorer. Sees the floor pretty well. He's a willing defender. But yeah, I mean, you got a comp for me though?
Man, I've thought about this for a while, and it's kind of crazy because watching MPJ in high school, what amazed me so much was his ability to get up so high and get to different spots of the floor and just to be able to hit shots. Obviously, MPJ got hurt. He's not that player anymore, but I do see some flashes of that MPJ scoring ability because MPJ, he had a handle to him, but he had a way of just getting to the midi and scoring. Defense-wise, I think that's really where his real like unicorn ability is. And I've seen Kevin Garnett. I've seen a little bit of Giannis in him. Andre Karolinko is also a great comparison. I also kind of think like a slightly taller Gordon Hayward in a way. When prime Gordon Hayward on the Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
I think
Hayward was such a smooth shooter.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
But I mean, coming out of high school too, I didn't think Cooper was gonna be able to put the ball on the floor the way he has at Duke. That's what surprised me a lot.
It was funny because, like, just kind of seeing the way he kind of scores with just face of the basket pivots. I mean, I saw like Brandon Ingram scoring a little bit in him, but I've seen some wild comps, bro. Like,
People are saying Jason Tatum.
People are saying Tatum. I've seen people say Baby Braun.
Yeah.
I've seen people say Baby KD.
No.
Well, I don't think I kind of cringe when I hear the word like generational talent because Victor Wembanyama was a generational talent.
It's thrown around.
Yeah.
It's way too.
He's
loose
just
at this
the
point.
best prospect in this draft that has the chance to be a multi-time All-Star, right? But hey, good for him. Good for him. Honestly, like great to see him live. I think there's some juice about his name. It's like when Zion came out, he's not quite at where Zion was from a hype standpoint, but I think his stock and his lore can go up exponentially in the next month.
Absolutely.
With a deep run.
100%,
And if this is the best Duke team I've seen in a long, long time. And if they win it all, I mean, you're going to be more hyped about them.
I just hate that they got to play a number 8 UConn out of the gate. Oh my God.
That's the worst reward for being on the one line. Like, I can't imagine that.
Reward you can ask for to have to play potentially number 8 UConn.
It's a trap
in the
game with
second
nothing to
round
lose,
of the-
essentially.
Yes,
Coming
like,
off
oh my
titles.
God.
Yeah. I will say that, like, I'm hoping for his sake that he gets some more hateability. For some reason, like, we don't hate him like we hated, like, JJ Redick back in the day, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't, for some reason, he doesn't have that Duke hateability. And I think that's kind of a credit to him. I mean, there's something about him for sure. But he's not like Grayson Allen. Like we hated Grayson Allen on Duke.
No, I think part of the reason is because also the draft buzz that he's getting. Because I know Grayson Allen was up there. I didn't get to see JJ Redick play at Duke. I was too young.
He was so good.
Even
Oh my
Austin
Lord.
Rivers got some hate.
Yeah, no, he did. But peak JJ Redick, what was like his? What do you think he was going to go in the draft? Or his like?
He was really good. I mean,
really
he was a
good.
lottery
I know
player
he
for
was amazing.
sure. But he wasn't that like a crazy athletic guy. But yeah, I mean, I believe went to the Magic, right?
He went to the Magic. I just don't
And
know how high, but yeah, I think that's part of the reason because Cooper is viewed as like a guy that could come in and like help the NBA. I think that's part of the reason why.
like there was a time like JJ Redick. Basically, him and Christian Laettner are the two most hated
Facts.
Duke players
I mean,
of
that
all
documentary,
time.
I hate Christian Laettner. That's a classic.
Yeah, no, it's a great one for sure.